Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be adding HARDRACE and spoon with a little bit of hammer it to the rear suspension of the coupe. So I already have the camber kit from HARDRACE and I'm pretty happy with that. I do have tine suspension as well, which I do love, but today it's all about this guy over here. So I'm gonna start off with loosening these 3 bolts, and normally it should just pop out very easy. So yeah, like it's fairly easy. Just want to know the weight difference between the original one and the HARDRACE one. And of course my battery is dead. So unfortunately the battery of my handheld scale is dead. But the weight difference between these guys, it's about half, maybe 2/3 of the weight of the original ones. Positive thing is they have hardened rubbers, so that's good for track use. These were worn out anyway. I'm just going to disassemble the other one, and then I can clean up the lower suspension parts of the car, and then I can give them a little coat of my hammered. After that I can install these guys, and I'm going to give the brakes a clean as well, because yeah, they haven't been opened for about 2 years, I think. Well, not this year, because this year I was at home because of COVID. Last year I haven't opened them, but I like to give them a clean once a year for sure. These, the front ones on the other hand, I like to clean every track day, so I know that they're perfect.
Tomorrow.
So I'm on my way to Aalst, going to a car shop to get a new tool, because years ago I rounded the bolt on the lower control arm on the right hand side. Well, I found out I haven't removed it yet, so getting a new tool, and then I can get the bolt out, and then I can install the new arms. So yeah, let's go.
Eventually.
Okay, let's go back home. So I had a bit of an issue, as you could see. The bolt came out, but it broke off. So the thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the brake drum, which comes out handy because then I can put these extended studs in. That's always nice. I can clean everything up, which I was gonna do anyway. So I'm gonna take off the brake drum, the backing plate as well, just so I can come over here. I'm gonna try and show you guys. So I can put my cutting disc in between here, cut the welded bolt, well, nut off, and then I can use a new bolt, a new nut to tighten everything up again. So yeah, things happen, rust happens. I should have taken this out years ago, but I don't know why I didn't do it. I think I just forgot it, so I have to do it now. So before I take off the brake shoes, first I undo the two metal clips. And then I'm just gonna try to take the brake shoe assembly all off in one go. Makes it easier to assemble it afterwards as well. So now I can just take out the 4 remaining bolts that hold the backing panel on. So just a little tip to remove the handbrake cable is to use a wrench that fits nice and snug around the clips. So the wrench pushes the clips together, so that way you can remove the handbrake cable easier. In my case it's a bit rusted, it's a bit dirty, but it comes out fairly easy. So this sensor, the bolt is all crusted up, so I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to break it either. So I'm just gonna put this aside so I can start to tackle this job over here. Okay, so I got the welded nut off, but it's still pretty rough. So as you can see here, the edge, I need to take that off before I can put another nut on here. So I'm gonna grind this off. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna use for that. And all of this gunk, all of this, I'm just gonna take it off so it's ready to get some hammerit on top of it. So I'm gonna use my power drill with an extension, which is very handy for tight places like I'm gonna go up to now, and then brushes like this. And with this, it's a grinding tool. I'm just gonna grind off the excess material that's still left where the nut was.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
So at this point you guys are probably wondering why I didn't just take off the trailing arm so I can do the cleanup much easier. Well, I didn't want to break my head over the old nuts and bolts. whenever I go for a break this conversion, I can just do the whole thing in one go, but this will do for now. So my camera battery died, but I got this side finished. It's all painted up. The inside over here, it's all nice and clean again. Still have to put my extended lug nuts in, but I'll do that when I've got the other side open as well, so I can do it in one go. And then, yeah. So now I'm gonna move up to the other side in time lapse. Alright, next up, extended wheel studs. So I already have one in each hub because I used to run 5x100 spacers for my sprint hards. So I only needed one long one because the other ones are, as you can see, chopped off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit these out with a big hammer. Then put the new one in the hole. Put some kind of spacer on it. Put a wheel nut on top of it, and then we can use the air gun to tighten it up so it pulls the new stud into its hole. Make sure to loop them up. And we use this spacer because this part here is longer than the thickness of this, as you can see. So if you put the nut on here, it will stop here, but it's not going to be pulled through all the way. It's going to be stuck around here. It has to go another 2 millimeters. So I'm gonna throw these guys back on. Just gonna give you guys a quick tip. So this one's done already, and I did use the same nut. If you use the same nut and you're gonna tighten it, the part where you hit it so it doesn't come loose will be in the same spot more or less. So if you want to avoid that, you have two options: or you buy new nuts whenever you take the hub off, or you take the nut from the other side, and that will help out a lot. So next we're moving up to the lower control arms. I got good news. Got some new batteries for the handheld scale. So I'm just gonna weigh the original ones. Comes in at 1.5 kilograms. Okay. And now the HARDRACE ones. which is 1 kilogram. So like I said, 2/3 of the original weight. So I lose 1 kilogram when installing these lower control arms. Awesome. Which means French Fry Friday is officially approved. So now we can put everything back together. Let's start off with this guy. Don't forget to lube up all the bolts. Okay guys, so I'm not gonna fasten these 6 bolts yet because you have to fasten them under load. So I'm gonna show you what my way of fastening them is. So guys, what you can do is, like me, put the wheel on, put a wooden block underneath, and then just lower the car again so the wheel stands on the wooden block, and then you can tighten those 6 bolts. The other way you can do it is to just put a jack underneath here and then jack it up, tighten it as well. Do not tighten the rubbers, well, the bolts on the rubbers, not under load, because if you do that, they're going to be twisted whenever you tighten them, and they're going to be twisted whenever you're going to drive around. If you tighten them under load, they're not going to be under that much pressure, which means that they're not going to rip as fast if they rip. So I'm not going to tighten them at all now because I'm going to get 6 new bolts. I don't want the same thing to happen to me again like what happened on the right hand side. So I'm going to leave it at that for now until I get the new bolts in. So that was the episode for today. I hope you liked it. And if you do, like, subscribe, comment, and hope to see you next time. Bye.